At Quaise, we're developing super hot geothermal energy for the first time in history.
It's not rocket science, but it's rocket science. We're not going
Earth
up,
science.
we're going down.
That's
Um,
right.
Super hot geomission.
In geothermal, we're harnessing the heat of the earth to generate electricity. A lot of that you just can't see with the naked eye. Animation, diagrams, graphics are really the best way to visualize this. Really when I came across animation and seeing, the work that you all had done, I was like, okay, all right, these guys know what they're doing.
I'd like to just hear from your lens what that initial workshop felt like.
We did have a good idea of, what we wanted to accomplish, but visually we were looking for a real direction. We could take what we already had, and then you basically helped us move it to the next stage of evolution.
But a lot of the storyboarding sessions have that aesthetic of all right, here's what we're trying to do, gang. We've got to get from here to here by doing this. Nick is forging it in Figma Illustrator, curating music, going out, finding, auditioning VO artists.
At Quaise, we categorize sites into 3 tiers.
Based on their geothermal gradients. The higher the geothermal gradient, the easier it is to reach super hot conditions.
All this is connected to the tone, and then the script starts to feel real. I don't know, it's just fun to watch and see complex ideas really come to screen in a way that's oh, that makes sense. I get that.
We would have these hour-long meetings where we would just go through 3 scripts at a time and go paragraph by paragraph on what visuals we wanted, if there were anything that we could reuse from a past video, and if there was a reference out there that we could just kind of adapt to the design style. So that streamlined it really well in a way that Nick could then sketch out the storyboard and then pass that to Harry and say, yep, all good, can't wait to see what it looks like designed. That just makes the deeper design and animation process smoother.
I think it was on the 4th video when we were explaining the whole millimeter wave drilling process, really as consequential as, going into orbit or mapping the human genome. And I was just starting to see this idea of why don't we take one of those particles from the ash, have it flying up the pipe, and then that little particulate then transforms into a satellite orbiting the Earth, and then a molecule on a strand of DNA. And when the design came back, I was like, yes, this is it. This is the powerful note we want to end with.
Harry, initially you had some good concept renders and drawings that were getting the point across of what you were wanting to articulate, but then applying kind of the visual branding to that was kind of the initial task, and I think we accomplished that.
There's a lot of design elements that I could imagine being very valuable for building out presentations, putting on the website. You don't just get the video, but you get this design kit.
Well, and it wasn't even obvious to me. It came from another internal request of people seeing the videos and hey, they look great. I want to use that design in this PowerPoint I have to do. And I think that's when I came back to you guys. Hey, can we just get these graphics packaged up? It's almost lightning fast. You all packaged it up. And I remember, I think it was the same day you sent everything back.
We set up a library for our freelance partners, for our internal team. When you asked for that, I was like, I got you. It's right here. Any way that we can better organize ourselves. I think this was a good example of a good system, just benefits everybody.
Some of the best feedback I got was just some of our people who deal more directly with, our fundraising. Brought out one of these videos into one of the meetings, and with one of the investors they were talking to, it was they just understood it like that right from the video, and really made it crystal clear internally at the company.
Ultimately, the goal of these is to spread the word and tell people what you're doing and get more views and to your website and engagement and everything. And the fact that it's working just shows to the success of what we've been able to do.
Geothermal as an industry has kind of done the same playbook for decades now in terms of how they explain geothermal, how geothermal looks, how it's shown. The amazing things about Quaise is we've really turned that on its head and be no, geothermal is so much more than what people have understood it to be so far. We're going to deliberately go about explaining that differently and showing it differently, and I think you guys totally caught on to that as well and made it so that it was taking a sharp turn from how geothermal has been depicted and explained, really up until now.